It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Come on and celebrate tonight. 'Cause everything's gonna be alright. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Khan. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, Shaka Khan. Let me rock it, that's all I wanna do. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, Shaka Khan. Let me rock it, cause I feel for you. Shaka Khan, what you tell me what you wanna do? Do you feel for me the way I feel for you? Shaka Khan, let me tell you what I wanna do. I wanna love you, wanna hug you, wanna squeeze you too. But let me take it in my arms, let me feel you with my charm, Shaka. Cause you know that I'm the one to keep you warm, Shaka. I make it more than just a physical dream. I wanna rock you, Shaka, baby, cause you make me wanna scream. Make me wanna scream, you make me wanna scream. Let me rock you cause I feel for you. I love you. I feel, think, I feel for you. I feel, think I love you. Let me rock you, rock you. Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan.
Go now? Good, yeah. Good. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Lancaster City, State of the City. I am Tiffany Johnson, your MC for the night, and for some of you that don't know who I am very proud to say that I am a Lancaster native, homegrown.
Thank you for tuning into L28, This Week in Our City.
That introduction. I am Tiffany Johnson, Lancaster homegrown. I was a graduate of Paraclete High School. After that, I moved on to attending, thank you, let's go Spirits. Yeah, give it up for Spirits. Later went on to attend the University of Hawaii at Manoa, where I was a pre-med psychology major, now receiving my Master's of Science in Nutrition. But while I'm getting my education, I came back to LA, became a Los Angeles Clipper girl. Let's go Clips, Clip Nation. Anyone out there? Love that, Clip Nation. Was able to dance and choreograph for multiple artists on tour and for music videos. Acted and danced for Lifetime Movie Network, Netflix, and Hulu. Modeled for some brands, including Makeup Forever HD. And all of that experience led me to becoming Miss California USA 2022. I went on to place at top 10 at Miss USA, Felt the need to get into sports broadcasting because I love sports, of course. Did some work with NFL Network, Major League Rugby, and I still felt a heart to come back to my hometown, Lancaster. I called our mayor, RX Paris, because I knew he had a listening ear as an amazing leader. I told him, I know that you're trying to push this new news station, L28, but I think it's time for me, as the face of California, to come in and highlight local small businesses. Within those local small businesses, there's so much heart and soul. I have parents that are entrepreneurs, and I've seen their hard work and their diligence, and especially after COVID, it was time for us to show that Lancaster has a heart of hard workers. Well, the great listener that RX Paris is, he said, all right, Tiffany, let me see what you got. Since then, I now work with L28 with a show that is called Tiff on the Town, the biggest accomplishment that I see that brings me the most joy. So if you feel the need to ever get highlighted on Tiff on the Town, make sure you hit me up. Today we have an amazing layout for you. You're gonna see the inside scoop of what it means to work behind the scenes with the city of Lancaster. All of you have poured so much into this city with your hard work, your passion, and your love, and it's amazing to come back home and see so many familiar faces. But before we jump into it, I do want to highlight our amazing leaders. Starting off with Lauren Hughes Leslie, our city councilwoman. And if you are out in the audience and I call your name, please feel free to stand up and wave. Raj Malhi, our city council member. Ken Mann, city council member. Marvin Chris, our vice mayor. And of course, our mayor, who is waiting patiently backstage, RX Paris. Let's give it up for him. As we have amazing news and voices coming up today, it is time for us to bless the stage. May I please have Larry Chappell, assistant pastor from Lancaster Baptist Church, come up on stage.
Thank you. On behalf of Lancaster Baptist Church, my dad, Pastor Chappell, and the amazing faith-based groups that we have here in Lancaster, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to bring this prayer. Let's pray together. Our Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for your goodness to us. God, I thank you for the many ways that you have blessed our city. God, I thank you for the community that you allow us to enjoy. And God, I pray that we would each do our parts to make Lancaster a better community. Lord, I want to thank you for the public safety officers that we have, Lord, our business leaders that are here as well. I pray that you continue to bless them and prosper them as well. And then particularly our community leaders, Lord. I thank you for a moment where we can hear the vision for the city. You said in your word that where there is no vision, the people perish. So I pray that we would rally around a common vision, not just for economic prosperity, Lord. I just pray that we would be a better place to raise our children. I pray for the future of our city. And I just pray that you would give us wisdom and guide us in this process. Bless this day as we are together thinking forward towards the future of the city of Lancaster. And we pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Chappell. If you all may please stand as I lead you in the pledge. Right hand over your hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you for tuning into L28. This week in our city. So Keanu Reeves, if you ever watch this, I love the work you do.
And I'm just a big supporter of it.
It's Brianna Herrera from L28, and we are here at the annual AV Fair and Alfalfa Festival.
As you can see yourself, it's amazing. I see a lot of kids here with big smile on their face.
So we're ready for game action. So glad you're with us here on L28.
I hope you all enjoyed hanging out with me as much as I did and are looking forward to the next episode of Tiff on the Town.
And this has been L28 News.
Let's give a round of applause for the team at L28. As I said earlier, I've had the opportunity and blessing to come back home and really help build L28 to what it is. It's given our community of creatives in Lancaster opportunity, exposure, and a place of belonging. L28 has become extremely reflective of the goal of the city of Lancaster, which is collaboration. If we don't work together as a team, there is no success. My dad always told me, every team needs a quarterback just as much as they need a wide receiver, just as much as they need a D lineman, just as much as they need the snapper. L28 is exactly that. And we don't finish until we get to the end of the fourth quarter and get the win. That leads me to the next edition that we have that's been so exciting for me to be a part of at L28, which is L28 Sports Broadcasting. Can we hear a round of applause for that? L28 has taken this leap of faith of going back to when Channel 3 would highlight our local athletes. It's been great to be a sideline reporter on the field during football season to highlight these young talents, give them the exposure that they deserve, because they've worked so hard and focused on not just being great athletes, but being great students and great individuals. But it doesn't stop at football. We're gonna highlight in on basketball season within the next couple weeks. Doesn't stop there either. We're gonna go on throughout the annual year of sports and highlight all of these young athletes. It's been great to see them feel like, wow, I'm seen, I'm heard. But what brings me most joy is seeing these generations come together. I was able to go to AV High School about 2 weeks ago to highlight a game, and most of the coaching staff are pre-football players. They didn't just say, hey, are you Marco and Sandra Johnson's daughter? I know that face when I see that face. Of course I am. But they were saying, wow, it's great to see our city come back to our young athletes and let them know you have opportunity and you have exposure. So get your young athletes out there excited. And also, if you feel called again to be featured on TIFF on the Town with your small business, make sure you email myself or the city of Lancaster and we will get you featured. Now, coming on is somebody that is a driving force behind the success of the city. She's a West Point grad and a vet. She also is an alum of Courthill High School. She was a captain of the swim team, ASB president, and even volunteered at Antelope Valley High School while she growed up in our local city. But the one thing that she's most proud of, and I see it in her eyes whenever she speaks of it, is that she's a proud mother, and proud to say that she has been married for the last 10 years. I'm so excited and so honored to bring up this driving force of a woman, City Council Member Lauren Hughes Leslie.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for the kind words. Isn't she incredible? Our very own, the City of Lancaster, very own Miss California 2022. That's incredible.
Thank you.
We are so fortunate here in Lancaster to have Tiffany MC events such as this and to star on TIFF on the Town, highlighting our local businesses and talents, because we have so many successful local businesses and talents. Now, her list of accomplishments is far too long for me to list, but I'm not surprised given the fact that her role model and her mom is our former City Council member, Sandra Johnson. Let's give it up for Tiffany one more time. I want to take a moment to just say thank you. Thank you to Mayor Paris. Thank you to Vice Mayor Chris, the rest of the council, but really thank you to all of you for allowing me to stand here. Hopefully you didn't bring tomatoes, but to just introduce myself and to talk about the recent successes and excitement here in Lancaster. So thank you. Now, our parks team has been very busy. We just celebrated the 10th Field of Drafts. That's what I said, the 10th Field of Drafts. And just the weekend before that, 7 days prior, we celebrated Haunt at the Hangar. Did anyone go out to Haunt at the Hangar? Maybe Field of Drafts? I was there. I know you guys were there. But I'm happy to report that attendance at all of our events has skyrocketed. That's incredible. At Haunt at the Hangar, we saw double our normal turnout, and approximately 45,000 people attended our 30th California Poppy Festival. Our summer yeah, that's worth cheering for, thank you. Our summer programming also expanded with the addition of cool summer nights and cool summer vibes. Let's give it up for our Parks Department. So in addition to these incredible events, there were many. We focused and we executed numerous capital parks projects, including the renovation of our batting cages. The feedback thus far has been overwhelmingly positive. And now our Sky Tower Park was renovated inside and out, and the Moe's HVAC system was also upgraded. Yes, these are necessities, but these are all testaments to our commitment to the city of Lancaster. Now, we also invested $2.7 million into the improvements of our parks alone. This includes new hard courts, renovated tennis courts, and yes, the addition of even more pickleball courts. Yes, even more. Now let's talk entertainment. Whether it's dance, music, theater, the LPAC has it all. The LPAC had a phenomenal season, and now they are deep into their 2023-2024 lineup. Is anyone attending Jay Leno tonight? Anyone? Awesome, I'll see you there. Now, moving on to the MOA. The MOA is also thriving. They recently reopened this spring, and they've already had numerous successful exhibits. I'm excited to share that they recently opened Studio 606, which is a digital creative space, and it includes amenities such as a podcasting room. I want to personally, as well as on behalf of the city, thank Mayor Paris, because it was his vision and his thought to bring arts to the city. And studies show a city of art is an elevated city. So let's give it up for Mayor Paris and the rest of the council. And let's not forget our newest piece of public art. Those are not balloons. Those are not balloons. It's super blue. And speaking of blooming, our Lancaster Community Center is blooming. It is growing with programming and events. We invested $1.8 million, $1.4 million into providing even more programming for our young community. We also approved $1.1 million to renovate Raleigh-Dudley Park so that we could have resurfaced basketball courts and a ADA accessible playground. Additionally, there are upgrades to come to Mariposa Park and Weber Pool. Now, it is with immense pride that I get to share the evolution of our beloved hangar into a professional soccer stadium. This project is a testament to our commitment to sports and community growth. We as a council recognize the talent and enthusiasm for soccer here in Lancaster, and we are just thrilled to support USL Antelope Valley. But don't take my word for it, let's hear directly from the community.
The new soccer team here gets an opportunity for the community to grow. It's everything that the city needs.
Who are we? Who are we?
So I actually played in the USL. Never in my lifetime would I think that a professional organization would be coming to the Antelope Valley.
The city is going to convert the Jethawk Stadium into a 5,300-seat soccer-specific stadium. This is everything. This is what it's all about.
I've been here for 36 years, where there was only one soccer field. And to see this has evolved, we have someone that we can point out to every player and say, hey, listen, if you work hard, you can reach up to this team. And therefore, you can go to university, you can go to any college.
I grew up here in Little Rock, Lancaster, playing soccer my whole life. When I got to that point in my career, I had to leave the Antelope Valley. I have a little brother, kids his age and younger. It gives them another outlet, something that they could represent and possibly, represent at the professional level.
I think everyone should have an opportunity to do what they love. Men, women, it doesn't matter. A league for everyone, a team for everyone.
The soccer community's been massive here. I just finished playing professionally in New Zealand, and then I heard about this going on, so I've always thought that if professional soccer or something in that sense came here, it would do very well.
There's so much talent in the women's sports as well, and sometimes it goes unnoticed. And for all my girls out there, just know something special's coming for you guys.
What we have coming to this valley is truly amazing. When I got drafted, they said from Palmdale Heat, LA Galaxy. It shows my love for the community, and I think that would be great for these young kids coming up to love where they come from and be able to play for their hometown.
This is what soccer does. Unity to celebrate a professional soccer team that's coming to the Antelope Valley.
Let's keep up that support for our professional. Can you all hear me? No, huh? Am I projecting loud enough for you all to hear me at this point? No. Might have to do a little dance for you. I can dance. Would you like me to dance? I can dance. Can we give it up? How about we all do a clap together? Ready? 1, clap, 2, clap, 3. Keep it going. 1, clap, 2, clap, 3, clap. Keep it going. 1, clap, 2, clap, 3, clap. Keep it going. 1, clap, 2, clap, clap. Hey, and we dance, and we dance. Keep it going for me. Hey, come on, y'all. Keep it going. Can you hear me? No? It's okay. We got this. Hey, here we go. And it's touch. Keep it going, and keep it going. And we keep it going, and we keep. Thank you. Hey, I'm back. Had to give an entertainment break to support USL, of course. Let's give one more round of support for USL. Clap it up for them. Before we move on, now you can hear me. Hello. Before we move on, I would love to highlight our sponsors and amazing vendors that put on the event earlier today. We were able to get a little bit of a taste of Lancaster, see some amazing businesses that pour into keeping Lancaster stable, and see the hardworking young men and women. If you're one of the vendors today, could you please stand up as we give you a round of applause? Thank you so much. Our city council member, Lauren, did an absolutely phenomenal job laying down and explaining some community development that has been going on in our city of Lancaster. But development lays down the groundwork. Capital is what builds dreams. Someone that I like to call Uncle Ken, our city council member, Ken Mann, when he walks to a room, you know he's in there. You hear his laugh, you see his big grin, and most of all, you feel his warm hugs. He has broken down some special, important notes of our capital in a video. If I can direct your attention to the screens.
Welcome to Lancaster, a city on the move. Our commitment, building a brighter, safer, and more efficient future for our residents. Last year, we embarked on an ambitious journey, investing over $60 million in capital improvements. With the successful completion of our $50 million road bond projects, we've renovated 237 lane miles of roadway and added new protected bike lanes, making travel safer for everyone. Our dedication isn't just on the roads. We've renovated iconic places like Sky Tower Park, the Museum of Art and History, the Lancaster Performing Arts Center, and even parts of City Hall. Our commitment commitment to pedestrian and cyclist safety has never been stronger. Initiatives like See and Be Seen, our Safe Routes to School program, along with Safer Streets Action Plan, ensure our residents are safe on our streets. Beyond that, our partnerships with organizations and local businesses have proven effective in keeping our city clean and free from graffiti. Now, with a carry forward of $141 million and an additional $29 million, our capital improvement program is set to transform Lancaster. The majority of our CIP funds are thanks to state and federal grants, with additional support from SB1 gas tax, Measure M, and our very own general fund. Key projects include constructing the multi-agency Regional Resiliency Center at the fairgrounds, enhancing Mariposa Park, Weber Pool, and many more. We're utilizing a huge chunk of our grant funds for 7 highway safety improvement programs, from installing flashing beacons to safety upgrades of various signals. Our aim is to ensure every journey is a safe one. We're making significant investments to State Route 14, ensuring 5 interchanges will meet the future demands of our growing community. The Lancaster Performing Arts Center is not just about entertainment. This year it's getting a fresh coat of paint, security upgrades, and infrastructure improvements to ensure world-class performances for our community. Our community center, the heart of Lancaster, is bustling with new programs, and to support that, we're completing significant technology improvements that will allow for enhanced programming. Parks like Raleigh-Duntley and El Dorado are undergoing major makeovers because every resident deserves a beautiful and safe place to relax and play. And let's not forget the new home for the Lancaster Police Department, located on Sierra Highway, ensuring Lancaster remains one of the safest cities in California. The future is bright, Lancaster. Through collective efforts and strategic investments, we're crafting a legacy of growth, safety, and prosperity. Join us on this exciting journey.
Thank you so much, City Council Member Ken Mann, for going into detail for that with us. Next visit, something that's offering multiple job opportunities for our city of Lancaster: hydrogen. At times, I felt a little ignorant asking certain questions about hydrogen, so we thought it was a good idea to put a video together for you to feel more information and feel more educated on what the hydrogen plants are going to offer for the city of Lancaster.
As the sun rises over the desert, the city of Lancaster is capturing limitless opportunities. The opportunity to create a better future for our families with a cleaner environment and better health for all who call Lancaster home. The opportunity to power our homes, schools, and businesses with local resources and knowledge. The opportunity to lead a transition to abundant clean energy across Southern California and beyond. And the opportunity to overcome the challenge of our time: climate extinction. Sunrise in Lancaster means energy. Energy that made us the first net zero city in the United States. We led the transition to solar energy from the municipal level by rolling up our sleeves and asking, how can our city make a difference? We attracted leading solar energy companies to Lancaster, and we made our city a center of innovation to improve our future. But Lancaster is just getting started. We are leveraging our abundant solar resources to take the next step, a step that will allow us to power our lives with zero emissions and zero compromises. Our city is the first hydrogen city in the country by converting solar power and heat into renewable green hydrogen, and by avoiding the landfill and using recycled paper waste to produce renewable hydrogen. Hydrogen will fuel our cars, trucks, trains, and planes without greenhouse gas emissions. Hydrogen will power the Pacific Energy Center microgrid at City Hall. And hydrogen will be shipped throughout Southern California to eliminate regional emissions and improve the poor air quality in the greater Los Angeles area. From capturing the power of the sun to using it to power our homes and businesses, Lancaster is leading the way forward. Through partnership, overcoming challenges, and mentoring other cities willing to take the leap, Lancaster is providing difference-making opportunities. So when you look at Sunrise in Lancaster, know that we are capturing limitless opportunities.
Let's do the clapping game while we pause. Hydrogen is something that we're very excited to dive deeper into and to see how far it's going to take our community. And as I said, sometimes I struggle with diving deeper into explaining what hydrogen can do for us. So I get to introduce a very special individual that has impacted the city of Lancaster in many ways. He's shown me what it means to pour into roots that have created you. Born in the city of Lancaster, a husband, a father of 4, and a grandfather of 8, our Mayor R.X. Paris, who I've seen from the second he was brought into office to today, has been true to his word. He's said things that he has kept a promise to, and now it's coming to fruition today. He cares about everybody that he speaks to. And most of all, he keeps a promise. This man takes in the funds that he has and pours into research for individuals with arthritis and inflammatory diseases. He's a leader in the biotech industry. He's a phenomenal politician. And I like to say he's a great Uncle Rex to me. I'm so proud and honored to introduce to you Mayor R.X. Paris.
What does that mean to us? It means that the cost of oil and energy is just going to go up and up and up. Eventually, it means the point that we can no longer afford to live the way we're living. In Lancaster, we believe that if we are the first city in the world to get to zero dependence on outside energy for all of our needs, it puts us in an incredible competitive advantage. 1,000 homes now have solar. This year, Lancaster won the International Award for the Sustainable Cities and the National Award. It marks the change of the entire city. This is going to be the center of the city. This boulevard is going to be better than any promenade out. We were inundated with crime, and I knew that it didn't have to be that way. That all we really needed to do was to change the culture. This is going to be the beginning of something truly magnificent. I am humbled and blessed to be your first Lancaster Chief of Police. They would drown, but they never did, ever lived, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke up when it rained down. It rained down like whoever we are, whatever our history has been, whatever mistakes we have made in the past, we have the ability to thrive. Good afternoon. You know, the definition of love is that we care about the other's well-being, that we really care about it. We are blessed with a staff in this city that loves the people in this city. And I think you see it. I think you see it in all that they accomplish.
You know, I'm always a little embarrassed when I come out to these things because they act like I did it. That's not how it works. What I view my role as is to hold back the horde that wants to say no to everything. Those toxic people in our lives that seem to own social media. You know, the people that keep us looking in the rearview mirror. In this city, we don't have rearview mirrors. We are focused ahead. Our whole reason for being is to make this city a magnificent place for our children. I mean, you know, it gets better for us too, but the real goal is for the children. Would you agree, Marvin? Yes. Ken? Raj? And I'm a little emotional today because some of those children are running the show. You know, Tiffany was a child. Lauren was a child when I first met them. And look at them. I mean, wow. So I want to talk to you why are we in hydrogen? You know, that seems pretty far out there, doesn't it? I mean, why would we invest in that? You know, isn't that really what we think at times? And it's certainly understandable. You know why we invest. And I'll tell you a story in a minute. The reason is not this word called sustainability. I've never really quite figured that word out because it means so many things to different people. But what it means to me is this: mortgage-paying jobs. Isn't that really what it's about? So we got a lot of hydrogen projects in the works. This is one of them. But that's, you know, we do it different in Lancaster. I guess you know that, don't you? We do everything different in Lancaster. When they came and met with us, telling me about this great project they have, totally new way to create hydrogen, and, you know, it sounded right to me, and I said, okay, and I held up 5 fingers. And he goes, what's that? And I go, that's the 5% for the city. We own 5% of that. It's $1 billion project. I've never understood why all of the burden of our city is borne by taxpayers. I mean, we can make a lot of money on this stuff, right? And that's what we're setting out to do. We're not only the center of hydrogen research. All this is new, didn't exist a year ago. It was just a dream somebody had. That project is going to be everywhere because you use the sun to create the hydrogen and its thermal heat, and then you use the heat to the factory. I mean, doesn't it kind of make sense? Why are we digging 30,000 feet into the ground to pull up something to make it hot? Because that's all it does. I mean, that's what oil does. It makes it hot, right? When it's free from the sun, we just have to make the capital investment. Within a year and a half, maybe a year, we will produce more hydrogen in this city than anywhere else in the world. In the world. And every kilogram we make, the city gets a piece of it. What we can fund. Think It doesn't matter if you think climate extinction is a serious threat. It doesn't matter. Because what we both agree on, the more money the city has, the better the people live. Doesn't that make sense? You know, in Saudi Arabia, everybody over 18 gets a minimum of $200,000 a year. We are going to control the energy of this nation in a very short period of time. What we do with that is going to be up to Tiffany and Lauren and a few other people that follow us. So pay very close attention to who you put in our seats as we ride off. It's incredibly important, like it's never been before. But is it safe? How many are worried about it being safe? Anybody? Our education program's really good, isn't it? I thought everybody would raise their hand. You know, remember the Hindenburg? One of the things we learned is don't store it in balloons. You know, not a good idea. But in the last 10 years, 3 people have died from hydrogen accidents. 3 people. You know how many died from natural gas? 4,400. In this country alone. In this country alone. The truth is it's incredibly safer. The reason for it is it's an incredibly small molecule. It's the smallest molecule in the universe, right? It dissipates very quickly. Natural gas is heavier, sticks around, goes up. Much safer. When we started down this path, there was a great story. It was right before COVID. I get a call. Guy says he's the Consul General for Japan. I never met a Consul General before. He said, "Would you come to lunch?" Yeah, I'll come to lunch. That's kind of exciting, right? I go down to their consulate, have lunch, and he makes a pitch. He said, Japan is going into hydrogen in a huge way. It will power our nation in a very short time. Remember, Fukushima had happened. They were closing down nuclear. He goes, but we know from our experience with automobiles that in order to capture the American market, you have to start in California. And we would like Lancaster to be the hub, to be that start, to be that launch. The reason, he said, they wanted to come is because of what we had done with solar, that we embrace it, that we embrace new technology and new ideas. And of course we do. Most of us here, our parents worked in aircraft. If it went up, we built it, or they built it, right? I mean, innovation to us is what you get up in the morning and breathe. It's not magical to us. It's, why aren't we doing it? It's a perfect place if you're going to do innovative things. Ask George Whiteside. He built Virgin Galactic spaceship. I hear it's actually going up. We're an engineering culture, and it's still here, and we still embrace it. And at least the nation of Japan knew that, because we then formed the Pacific Hydrogen Alliance with Hawaii and Japan. We went to Japan, met with people, started putting this thing together, and I met with this group. NITO is called. Billions of dollars they control to help Japanese companies. You know, they invest in them with the new technology, with energy, primarily energy. Thank you. It is our 38th wedding anniversary. This is my wife, Carol. I cannot tell you the number of anniversaries she gave up for me to be doing something like this, speaking somewhere, going somewhere. And it never ends. And I'm sorry, but thank you. She's the smartest person I ever met. And she makes me look like a genius. But it's so untrue. She built that office. And she taught me something amazing. You know, we do have different roles. Men and women have different roles, you know? That's why you see so many women in the city now. It was by design. You're better managers. You get stuff done, all right? We take the credit. And we're very good at it. Anyway, so they take me to Japan, and I'm going to meeting after meeting after meeting. I don't even know who I'm meeting with, you know? But I got my pitch, and I know what to say, and I know how to follow the script. And then I'm meeting with the head of NITO, pitching investing in Lancaster. When it's over, he says, we never do that. We only put money in Japanese companies. We wouldn't invest in a foreign city. Right? So I look at city staff and go, why did you put me in here? Because I'm a little embarrassed. But we move on. Then I meet with the LA rep from JETO, which is another organization they have. And I explained, Japanese companies want to take the hydrogen market. They want to take the fuel cell market. You have to do it in California if you're going to be successful. I didn't understand NITO's response. Last week, get an email, oh, here's $15 million for your project in Lancaster. $15 million from a foreign country. Why that is so significant is because when I had that initial meeting, he said, the Japanese press knows this lunch happened. It's being broadcast to all the major corporations of Japan. It's a signal. It's not like here where I would just say, do this, do that, They either do it or they don't. They do signals, they send messages, and this was a message. He said, you're going to get a lot of interest from Toyota, Toshiba, companies like that. Do you know what kind of interest we're getting now that NITO put $15 million into our research center? We're there. What does there mean? Thousands of mortgage-paying jobs. Thousands of them. No doubt in my mind. It wasn't 15 million they gave us. It was a signal that if you're going to build factories in America that have anything to do with hydrogen, you do it here. And the IBEW is here waiting for them. Because we've been very successful in working with labor, haven't we? See, I love labor. I love the trade unions especially because being in a trade union doesn't mean you get to keep your job just because you're in the union. They can fire you and hire you. But it does mean a mortgage-paying salary. It does mean health insurance. It does mean a pension plan. All the three biggest problems I have in this city, right? If you don't have those. Oh, and did I mention health insurance? We find it to be a perfect relationship. But is there strife and negotiations and all of that? Of course there is. That's why my brother Rob is here. He goes and cuts the deal. Also, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, we found out the federal government is giving us $55 million. And then you add that to the 20, how much money did you get the state to give us, Marva? 20 million, all going in, well, not all of it, but a major portion of it, going into the first hydrogen-powered event center. What we're attempting to do, and what we will do, is we have to build so other people can see it. Once you know it works. You know, one of the biggest obstacles we have to development is the cost of energy. I didn't even think it was going to be that much. And I was the biggest naysayer in the world 10 years ago. I even said it on television, didn't I? It's going to go up and up and up. It really went up. It's truly astonishing what's happened in the last year in regards to the cost of energy. Am I right about that? You know? It's stopping growth. It's making businesses go bankrupt. That's why we should be interested. That's why we should be concerned. It's a problem today, not 10 years from now. So Lancaster, first city in the world, you want to put a battery and solar on your house, drop your energy costs 20%, guaranteed to lock in the price so it'll never rise again for the next 20 years, we'll pay to do it. We'll do it. You don't have to spend a dime. All you have to do is pay your monthly payment, you know, your normal electric bill, that's 20% cheaper. That is the difference for businesses between profitability and bankruptcy. We're the first city in the world that makes that offer to people. Where'd my water go, baby? Okay, thanks. See how she takes care of me? Wipe your nose now. So the next time you hear about why are we investing so heavily in energy, it's not the move in front of you. It's 4 moves down the road. It's to keep our businesses open. It's to make it so families can afford to live, to have a quality of life. We created the first net zero house in the world. It was impossible, they said. You know, it was a great thing about being mayor. You want to have a meeting? People come. I mean, it's amazing. I had a meeting with KB Homes, BYD, said, could you make us a net zero house that the average American can afford? No, it's impossible. 6 months later, I said, what would it take to get you to do it? They told me, I gave it to them. 6 months later, we flipped the switch. The people who buy those houses can get a much better house because their overall monthly payments are much less. You don't have an electric bill. Imagine that, no electric bill. You could put that into the mortgage. Doesn't it just make sense? Most of what we're doing in this city is we look at what makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I'll take the heat of people being upset about it. And believe me, it gets hot, incredibly hot. But it has to make sense. And when it does make sense, life's pretty easy. Where's Tiffany? But you know, before I go back to Tiffany, I am so proud of these people. You know, these are Lancaster folks. You know, when I was having those conversations with Tiffany, I said, you know what I really want? I want a news station that has real news, that's not Facebook, you know, that has real local news. What's happening with the schools? What's happening with the football teams? What the Valley Press used to be. Remember, every morning we knew what was going on. I don't know what's going on anymore. I can't trust Facebook, you know? Tiffany, that little girl, and a few other people who were little girls at the time said, oh yeah, we can do that. And they did. They started a television station that's actually becoming a real news station. No experience, but no fear. No fear. They just dove in and did it.
Thank you, Mayor. Very kind. Let's give it up for our Mayor, RX Harris. If it wasn't for the leadership of our mayor, Rex Paris, L28, we wouldn't have this momentum of knowing that it is teamwork, it's collaborative effort. And Rex has really exemplified to us that you have to go in being fearless. You have to take the risk. And you're never going to know if success is going to be right around the corner unless you take that leap of faith. So thank you, Mayor Rex Paris, for setting that example for us. As our mayor so eloquently explained that hydrogen is the future of the city of Lancaster, there is somebody that was previously on our stage that we just can't get enough of. Let's welcome back our city council member, Lauren Hughes Leslie.
Has also been very busy. Now, this is the team bringing businesses to life here in Lancaster. That means they're stimulating our thriving economic wealth and well-being. The Lancaster Health District. This initiative is a beacon of hope and progress for the city of Lancaster. This project is near and dear to Councilmember Raj Mali. Thank you, Raj, for all your hard work and diligence in seeing this through. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. Now, finding a new home in our Lancaster Health District is a state-of-the-art, fully renovated Antelope Valley Medical Center. Let's give that a round of applause. That's huge. This new hospital will be co-located with a purpose-built neighborhood that will encourage a healthy and active lifestyle. Now, speaking of neighborhoods and housing, the housing market here in Lancaster is prosperous, with nearly 6,000 single-family unit homes coming soon, and over 1,500 multifamily units coming soon as well. Now, pictured here is our vision for 15th Street West and Avenue L. This mixed-use development will provide 392 units that will be residential, retail, and even a hotel. But wait, there's more. We know that commerce is the heart of a city, and the city of Lancaster is seeing tremendous strides with fan favorites such as Sprouts, Dutch Bros, and Chick-fil-A. But wait, yet again, there's more. We have Smart and Final, we have Ulta, and we have Tractor Supply to come. And for our travel enthusiasts, we have 3 more new hotels coming. Now, the industrial wave here in Lancaster is nothing short of monumental, with an astonishing 6.9 million square feet in the pipeline. I want to take a moment to highlight some of our major developers who who are reimagining our landscape. We have Covington Developmental, North Point Development, and Warmington Properties. Now, these renditions are not just dreams. These are the reality of Lancaster's tomorrow. As you can see, our teams have been at work. They've been working very hard, from the planning to laying the final brick to ensure that the city of Lancaster continues to be a city on the rise. As they say at Chick-fil-A, it has been my pleasure to share this excitement with you, and I hope you guys will join me in just congratulating our teams for a job well done this year. Thank you.
Our city council member, Lauren Hughes Leslie, is just an absolute inspiration to me. She's able to balance so much, accomplish so much, and in the short amount of time that she's been a part of our city leadership, she has that much passion in her. So let's give her a round of applause for having such a heart and soul for her hometown of Lancaster. All of this discussion about the future and what's to come, what we can look forward to, there needs to be discussion about what's happening today. Something that myself and my family, and of course the city, have a heart for: public safety and neighborhood watch. May you turn your attention to the screens as we developed a video for you before our Mayor, R.Rex Paris, goes deeper into how we will keep our city safe.
Hello, Lancaster. I'm Mayor R.Rex Paris. The safety and well-being of our community is the very heart of our mission as public servants. It forms the bedrock upon which we can build a prosperous and thriving community. We've been dedicated to fostering a secure environment, investing in numerous public safety initiatives, including the flock camera system, graffiti tracker, and building out the city's hybrid police force. However, the fight for a safer Lancaster doesn't stop there. Our Neighborhood Watch program stands as a testament to this continuous effort. Backed by the National Sheriff's Association, it has seen success in thousands of communities nationwide. We too can benefit greatly from this grassroots level engagement. Neighborhood Watch is not just about safety, it's about community. It's about each one of us stepping forward to safeguard our families, our children, and our neighbors. By being the eyes and ears of our neighborhoods, we can stop crime before it happens. Thank you. The picture means I'm supposed to get up again. And it does. I want to talk to you about something that is going to make you all uncomfortable. It's kind of like the elephant in the room, right? But a few days ago, my wife broke my heart. I woke up and she said, "Your son, Rutger, wants to know what Dad is going to think if I move to Santa Clarita. And Rucker and his wife and my grandson, Roman, live in a very nice neighborhood in Lancaster. And he said, but it's not safe for them. There's these itinerant, drug-addicted thugs everywhere. They're in his backyard. They're breaking into his neighbors' houses. And they're scared. They're scared. That conversation told me I had failed. I had failed. I failed the city because the number one job I have and the number one job the council has is to keep you safe and secure. That is our job. Above all the things we can do in the future, above all the parties we throw on Lancaster Boulevard, above all the fun we have in the parks. If we can't do that, we failed. But I want to be clear about this. I'm not talking about people, families, who, for whatever reason, are in trouble and need help financially, or who are unhoused. And I sure as heck am not talking about the single mother with the 3 kids in the back seat of their car. We should give them the shirt off our back, if that's what it takes. I'm not talking about that group. But for us to put it all together in this barrel called homeless is a scam. It's a scam from the people they let out of prison. It's a scam with the people that are drug addicted. And it's not that I'm not sympathetic to drug addicts. I used to be a drug addict. Everybody knows that. Or if you don't know that, you do now, huh? But there is a difference between people who want to rise up and just need help getting there, and people who want to prey upon us. And let's call it what it is. They are preying upon us. And I can't fix it. I can't. It's very hard for me to accept that I can't fix something, because I really believe that anything, you just read enough, work hard enough, study enough, you can find the answer. But let me tell you the lay of the land here. That person is our enemy. Stop feeding him. Stop giving him money. Quit paying him not to work. Because that's what you're doing. About 25 years ago, I read a book, and it was the Book of Jewish Wisdom. And I was fascinated by it. Because I'm pretty good at following direction. Do this, do this. When this happens, do this. I was, wow, this really is wisdom. And one of the things it taught me, never say no. Somebody's begging for money, give them something. Never say no. My wife, when I started that, she said they're just going to use that money to buy drugs. And I said, well, if they need drugs more than they need food, who am I to stand in the way? I mean, I can see everybody disagreeing with that, but like I said, I used to be a drug addict. It's a different perspective. But I no longer do that. I no longer give them anything. Because I love my grandchildren more than I love them. And we have reached a place in our society where we can adopt that lifestyle, and that can be our sidewalks. And we can live in terror when we leave our house. Our kids can see people masturbating openly in public. Because if you go to Los Angeles, downtown by the courthouse, that's what my staff has to look at. And why? Why? Billions and billions and billions of dollars were spent in the last 10 years alone. Did the problem get better? Anybody see it get better? It grew. And that's when that common sense comes back. Feed the problem, it's going to get bigger, right? There are a large number of people that, if given the opportunity not to work, they don't want to. We're going to talk a little bit about our new hybrid police department. But these, where'd they go? Oh, they moved their table. Anyway, you'll meet them. They did a survey of people, homeless people they ran into on the streets. 92% refused any form of help. 92%. It's the difference between the people who need housing and just need a little help, and the people who got a really good gig going. You just have to like to camp. Oh. A lot of obstacles to us, why I can't fix this. From a state level, we wanted to start a program. Here's a shovel, come back at the end of the day with this bag filled, and this is what you make, right? And then somebody said, yeah, but 5 minutes later, they're going to file a workers' comp case, right? I mean, we're talking about people who want to bleed the system, and we're going to give them a pass to workers' comp? Can't do it. We have a new district attorney who thinks that these folks, and what I mean, the drug addicts, the people they were let out of prison, the people that are preying upon our community, are somehow a protected class. They don't prosecute them. I mean, you can walk into the store, fill your shopping cart with steaks, make sure it's under $900. Chances are you're not even going to get arrested. Those are the obstacles we're dealing with. And 10 years ago, Lee Baca, who I absolutely love, signed a consent decree with the Department of Justice. And now, every single thing we do, the FBI is crawling up our, well, you know what they're crawling up. Protecting this group. And it's not the FBI's fault. I mean, they work for the Department of Justice. That's the new order, it seems. And the other obstacle is the County of Los Angeles. I'm sorry, but we only have one rational board of supervisor. Fortunately, she's ours, but it's 1-4 is the vote, is the count. We get money sent back to us from the taxes we pay them. What was the ratio? For every dollar we send downtown, we get 27 cents back. It's really hard to be dealing with their problems when they also take our money. So what do we do about it? The first thing we have to do is change our focus. You know, whenever I'm trying to turn the clock back to the way things were, have you all done that? Why couldn't it be the way it was before COVID? Whatever the benchmark, right? Don't we all do that? Anybody been successful? Even little successful? We have to change our focus. And we have to be creative and innovative and do things that have never been tried before. You know, in the city of Lancaster, staff does not get into trouble for making mistakes. Not ever. Unless it's really stupid. But what they get in trouble for is not ever making a mistake. Because I know we need to get rid of that person. Because they're not innovative, they're not creative, they're not moving forward. No. We can focus on the people, the Tiffanys and the Laurens of the world in our city, or we can feed that guy. Is there anything hard about that? I mean, isn't that just common sense? So we're doing some things. The Lancaster Police Department, that is going to blow your socks off. It's something that's never been tried before, never been done before. It's our police department working with the sheriff's department, and these guys are digging it. I thought they were going to fight us every step of the way, but you've embraced it. And the goal is, you know, I like to watch British TV or European TV. Go figure. But in Europe, it's really cool. You got the armed response units. When they show up, you better do what they tell you, right? I mean, there isn't any arguing. And then you have the other guys who investigate, still the waters, educate people, do all the things you don't have time to do. You know? So that's the plan. We will take the misdemeanors, most of the misdemeanors, and we don't have a consent decree, and we are not afraid of the FBI or the ACLU. We will do whatever is necessary. Whatever. Let's not make any mistake here. We have the absolute God-given right to be safe and secure in the city we live in. But if we don't all embrace that, we cannot help you. We cannot fix this. It has to be community-driven. When you see somebody giving money to one of these guys, make sure you at least give them a dirty look, would you? Need a community culture, you know? In this city, we work hard. We work hard. And we take care of each other who take care of each other collectively. This is not a place for transients to come and rip us off. Am I going the right way? I guess I'm being repetitive, but I'm going to say it again. Stop paying them not to work, because that's what we're doing. My wife was in Copenhagen a couple weeks ago, and she sent me a picture. She sent me a lot of pictures, but these are the ones for you. In Copenhagen, you don't give money to the homeless. That is really frowned on. You know, you're a pariah if you do that. But if you want to help people who need housing, the city will match funds with them. Whatever goes in those boxes, the city will match. And next council meeting, I'm asking them to start that program. We'll match funds for housing, for people who need help, not for some guy they just let out of prison. This is the real reason why I can't stop this, why I'm failing. 46% of the officers at the Lancaster Sheriff Station today aren't there. We're down 46% and have been for years now. Years. You know, 14 years ago when I got elected, and where's Mark? I just saw him. Mark was the city manager. We were able to drop crime, gang violence, 86%. We dropped burglaries, 33%. We went from 22 murders to 0 there's Mark, in 2 years. Remember that? 0 in 2 years. But we had a full complement of sheriff deputies. They were able to do it. They had the manpower. Well, we've successfully made being a police officer something nobody wants to be. And we are reaping the rewards of that. You know, I grew up in the Vietnam War era. And when these soldiers would come home, they'd be spit upon, yelled at, swore at. Remember? The suicide rate was enormous of returning veterans, right? What are we doing to our sheriff's deputies? What are we doing? I wish sorry would mean something, but what you guys are experiencing is beyond the pale. And if you have any doubt about that, in the last 48 hours, four law enforcement people for the Sheriff's Department have committed suicide. 4 of them in 48 hours. The sheriff told me a few months ago, they've never seen anything like this. Marvin asked the Sheriff's Department last week, because he runs the boosters. We have the most successful booster program in the country. It's all Marvin. He said, well, we've got funding. What do you need? What can we help you with? You know what the answer was? We need bunk beds. Bunk beds. These guys are sleeping in the station. They're working so many shifts. You know, I don't know about you folks, but I go a couple days without sleep, my mental health is shattered. Just my Dr. Larry Stocks here. I remembered my wife was in the room and she told me, don't be chasing any squirrels. You know? So we are doing stuff. We're not sitting on our hands. We're becoming the most technologically advanced city in the country with all of the different things that are available. You're going to see those. Whenever there's a problem, one will go up because we're going to have a lot of them. Those cameras will not be just to control the streetlights. It's November now. We've had 23 murders. 23. Most of them, you know, they're domestic, meaning man and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, things that there's not a lot law enforcement can do to prevent it. You know? But nonetheless, 23. Those cameras solved 18. within 48 hours. Because what do they do? Every time you drive by one of them, we know something about you. You know, it's restored in the computer, no human being is looking at it. But when something goes down, a human being does look at it. Actually, the software just tells us, you know, this car was seen here, 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 and then it'll even track the car where it went. You know, I mean, it's amazing how sophisticated it is. 18 murders solved, 48 hours. But we had to give up something, don't we? I don't know that I like people knowing where I was, you know? I'm not even doing anything bad, but do I really want them to know where I am? Not really. But that's the choice we've been pushed into. If you want to be safe and secure, we're going to have to give up a few things. Doesn't mean we're not protecting your privacy. The trick to that is how long do you keep the data? You know, I'm arguing for 90 days. They're arguing for 12 months. But we will come to an agreement that data will be removed. You know, I don't think it's appropriate to be able to look back and see where in time to see where somebody was who hasn't committed a crime. You know, I just don't think it is. People can disagree with me. But the point is, we're going to have to start depending on technology like we never have before. And this is the city of innovation. We're totally comfortable with the innovation. We were the first city to go to AI, artificial intelligence for crime control. You know, one of the things we learned was 46% of the 46% of the deputies on duty, 46% of their time was at Walmart. At Walmart, doing loss prevention for Walmart. Why? They don't have a suspect in custody. We're not sending anybody. They can fill out the report over the internet. Hmm? And this is the one I love. If I walk outside, fire a gun, in seconds, they will know where that gunshot came from with accuracy. And they can tell you what caliber the weapon was. Now, it gets a little fuzzy. Was it a 32 caliber or a 22 caliber? But you don't really need to know that. That means they can have resources there. Oh, it tells you, was it a firework or was it a real gun? That's kind of important, especially, well, you all know. That's just the beginning. Because we're recognizing we can't turn that clock back. We can't fill those deputy positions, at least not for the foreseeable future. We have to do everything, almost everything, differently if we want to preserve the quality of our life. More importantly, the quality of our children's lives. I don't want to leave them a city that nobody wants to live in, and neither do you. We are building this city generationally. It's not just for tomorrow. You know, if you want to get elected to office and stay there forever, do nothing. I mean, unfortunately, that's how the world works. You know, Mark and I had the biggest problem, convincing city staff, if you do nothing, no, you're going to be in trouble. It's a total reversal of how cities work, isn't it? You know, when you become innovative, you're going to make mistakes. You know, we just did something. Got a grant. We painted the streets a certain way. You know, they're called road diets to lower the speed limit. We have to do that, or we have to put more units on the street, according to federal law, units that we don't have, right? And it was stupid. I mean, when it actually got on the street, it was stupid. Made no sense. So we're painting it over. We're painting over it. But nobody gets in trouble for that. We tried something new. It didn't work. If 1 out of 3 things I try work, perfect, right? If it's new, innovative, creative, 1 out of 3 is pretty good. We're actually much higher than that. But we take risks. What does that mean to you? You have to support your council when they take those risks. Because if you're one of those that do nothing but criticize, pretty soon they'll stop taking risks. And now we see the results. Remember this guy? Remember the video? Do you see that guy start crying? I mean, my chief of police, right? That is why he's the chief of police. That is exactly why he is. He is the most compassionate, passionate, and kindest man I know. He really is. If he wasn't able to get choked up, I don't want him, you know? But I have seen what happens when people mistake that kindness for weakness, because he is anything but that. And he is the one that we will fix it.
Good afternoon, Lancaster. So I have to say, what the mayor didn't tell you is that Vice Mayor put a tack in my shoe that day. No, seriously, I have to let you know, I am both honored and completely excited to be your first chief of police for the City of Lancaster Police Department. And I want you to know, in my nearly 35-year law enforcement career, I've never worked for a council and a mayor who are more prepared to do whatever it takes in the name of public safety. So I applaud you, men and women. Thank you. I am living proof of that today. As the mayor mentioned earlier, we are doing something that has not been done in this state, and I venture to say probably in this nation, in developing our hybrid policing model, where you have 2 great agencies, the men and women of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and by the way, our 2 captains are here. Would you stand up, please? Joey Fender, and recently promoted 2 days ago, Paul Bartlett. Yes, thank you, yes. I just want to tell you, your Lancaster Police Department will be both innovative and forward-thinking. We're going to bridge technologies like the fact that we're bringing a crime assessment center, intelligence crime assessment center, that's going to give us the ability to monitor and look at crime and trends and threats, not just here in our valley, but across the nation. We're going to bring you some of the most highly experienced, well-trained, and well-equipped police officers that we can possibly get. And most importantly, we are going to bring in heavy community engagement. In fact, engagement isn't the word. We're going to use the word inclusion. We want to hear your voices. As the mayor talked about with the Neighborhood Watch, we have to hear what is troubling you, and we need your help with that so that we can come up with ways and plans to address those issues. Our department motto will be community-led policing, and that is exactly what we're going to make it. We're going to listen to you, and we're going to hear what the problems are, and we're going to figure ways to address those problems. I want you to know we've started already. You're looking at a department of one right now, chief. But we are working on hiring our officers now. And we've taken steps already to address some of the issues. We've heard your voices. We've heard that there's issues with response times. And we already went to work on this thanks to the mayor and council. And I want to bring up some of the individuals that we've already hired that are already training with the Sheriff's Department who are going to be out in this community responding to calls from our community members and lowering those response times so that we can get to you and get that service that you need. Come up, please. These are our law enforcement technicians. And please understand, in the motto of this city, these are all Lancastrians. They all came from this city, and they are prepared to serve. Thank you so much. In closing, I just want to say, most importantly, we need to hear your voices. Please, please reach out to us. Please let us know. We are here for you. We're going to work hard for you, and we are going to make this one of the safest cities in this state. Thank you.
How about now? Now it's too loud. Okay. Rod's an amazing guy. Somebody calls in and said they're abusing older people in these, assisted living houses, not the recognized ones, but houses. Sure enough, that's exactly what they were doing. One of them was a former police officer, taking our elderly and ripping them off. Now, more importantly, not taking care of them, not getting them medical care. Those are the kind of things we can now handle because we're going to have flexibility. More importantly, they were all from Lancaster. This is their city. This is their community. It makes a difference. Thank you. Thank you for letting us love you, because we do.
Let's continue that round of applause for our mayor, our Rex Paris. All the continuous work you do, Rex, and the great diligence that you poured into explaining where our city is going and where we are today. Thank you, Mayor. I hope you all are feeling excited and motivated to see what is coming within the city of Lancaster, but what is happening today. I know I feel excited, and the call to action is to make sure that you all know this is a team effort. It's not just only meant for our city leaders. It's not only meant for our L28 team, but this is for all of us to come together and to remember that at the end of the day, we're a community, we're a team. Before we wrap up, I would love to ask our city leaders to join at the front of the stage so you can get your recognition that you all deserve. Let's keep that round of applause going as we wrap this up. Thank you again, City of Lancaster, for joining us today. Continue to mingle, continue to socialize. Again, I am Tiffany Johnson. I was so excited to be your MC for today. Have a safe and exciting rest of your evening.